Zip Devils! J-Dog back to answer more goddamn questions. First, we got order questions, goddamn it. Two of them to be precise. First one, Antonio Zamora's back, goddamn it. Hey J-Dog, just got a quick question since I can't really think of any right now. Laugh out loud. Thought of this one then. But what would you consider to be the most memorable show experience? Question mark. Good question. It can be based off a brutal stage performance, shit you've seen in the crowd, or your own personal excitement about the overall experience. Also, what is the biggest canoe you've ever had to talk with at a show? Shit, man. Just off the top of your head, those are some better of the questions that I get. And I don't think they've ever been asked either. First one, the quickie, biggest canoe I've ever had to talk to would be that fucking Ralph Greaves, R.I.P. He's the guy that fucking just a few years ago he killed his girlfriend and killed himself. Man, that guy was a POS. He was all about that Nazi shit too. That's why I'm just like, dude, just kind of get away from me. Um, Now, when I first met him, he was actually the very first person I met at metal shows. Like, actually, when I say met, like you talked to and you kind of hung out with the evening. When I first met him, I was at the latest 14, but I think I might have even met him my first year at being the age of 13. Because the second person I met at shows was Dwayne Morris, aka Dwayniac. Um, but Ralph, so when I first met him, let's just say I was 13, because I'm pretty sure I was. Didn't think much of it. 14, didn't think much. You just kind of like, yeah, guy's kind of like annoying, asks a lot of the same questions and shit. Like you decide to say silly shit. Definitely by age 16 for sure, but I think by age even 15, because I've seen him in all the shows. I'm just like, this guy's a full blown fucking knucklehead, doink ass fucking knob. But if you put on the fucking smiley face, say hi or whatever, I wasn't giving my phone number or going on my way to fucking hang out with him. And then I had to deal with him over the years occasionally because he would order from us and shit like that. Not often. And he's one of those guys. I remember when he came down because he'd pick up the orders too. That's what was extra annoying. I just ship it out, dude, so I don't fucking deal with your ass. And he called up. It was back when we had the service phone and shit like that. So yeah, I want to come on down, bro. I'm gonna be placing a big fucking order. All right, cool. Fucking big order. I'm always for big orders. Comes down, he buys one CD. I'm like, what the fuck is your definition of a big order? I'll show you a goddamn big fucking order. Matter of fact, Cody King's next in line to get answered. He places some big orders. One CD is a big order. Are you fucking kidding me? And he would have to be the biggest fucking canoe ass knob that I met at shows. I mean, there's been other like one offs, but it was him just stands out the most because I had to deal with him on many times, more than I can fucking count. So, and you know the fucking piss out of me. So, him. As far as most memorable show experience, most entertaining, I mean, shit, there's a lot. I mean, the first one that pops in my mind, just based how you worded it too, because you weren't saying just exclusively to the show. First time I seen Exhumed, I would say that stood out very much. So the show was awesome. The energy was great. So the way that show went down was Mayhem was on their Grand Declaration of War tour. I think it was the year 2001, maybe 2000, but 2000. It might have been 2000, 2000, 2001, whatever year it was. Exhumed was on their Grand Declaration of War tour. Exhumed was the opener. I forget who else was supposed to play or whatever. And for whatever reason, I don't even know if I ever got an answer. If I did, I got it that night, and I don't remember what the answer was. Mayhem canceled last minute, so it was supposed to be at the where the show was at. It was at there's the fantasy. There's now that's class. There's the Foundry, which used to be called a Blind Lemon back then. There's two other little clubs. Long story short, they're on the same streets called Detroit Avenue. They're all walking distance. When I say walking distance, like 30 to 45 seconds walk. So was that one of those clubs scheduled? I forget which one. And also right next to the Fantasy, so again, walking distance, was Extreme Music, Brian Baxter's shop. So before the show started, me, Eric, and Chase were there at Baxter's hanging out, and so was all the like a lot of people are going to attend the show. Not like I doubt like the whole attendance. So I'm assuming a lot of people went home because well, I'll get to that in a second, how the show went down. There's a lot of people outside and outside Baxter's show, and it got the words out there. Fucking shows canceled, whatever. And then about 20, 30 minutes, people were saying, I can't remember if it was Brian, who was like, yeah, Zoom's going to play, though. They're going to play for free. I'm like, oh, cool, cool. And I'm like, yeah, he's like, yeah, they're just here hanging out. I'm like, oh, what do they look like? Because all I owned at the time was Gore Metal. I didn't even own the Hendale split, which there is a photo on that. So I didn't even know what Matt Harvey and Cole Jones. I didn't even know what the fuck they looked like, but they were there. I got to find out when they played. They played one of the venues though. I don't think it was the one it was scheduled at. Maybe it was. I want to say it was at the Fantasy. Yeah, the Fantasy's the one that's got a downstairs part, and that which is the bigger area. Then they got this upstairs part. We go up the stairs, and I think they played there, but no, I don't think it was there. I'm trying to think which one was the other. I think it's I'm drawing a blank at what the other club's called. I think it was supposed to be at the Fantasy, but they played the other club. But it didn't matter because you were already parked. As I'll just walk to there. Cool. Exhum's playing, so Exhum played for free. Went there, and I had my. I think I already brought in advance Gore Metal on CD. I had to have, because I didn't buy it. I definitely owned Gore Metal before the show, and then Slaughter Cult I think was like it wasn't even out yet, but I think they were selling it there because it was coming out in like 2 weeks, or they were selling just the shirts because I got something else there that I picked up there, and it definitely wasn't Gore Metal Picture Disc because Gore Metal Picture Disc I already owned too. I bought that at Baxter's shop maybe the year prior or something like that. So I brought Gore Metal Picture Disc and Gore Metal CD. That's all I would have owned at the time. Had all the guys sign it. Matt Cole, and I don't think I had Beams sign it because Beams wasn't on it, and then there was Bud. But anyways, met all the guys, had them sign it, got my photo with them all, and they were all I just had a really good time hanging out with them and talking because they were really. I've told you guys multiple times on the channel, like Matt Harvey and Cole Jones, like easily some of the coolest people I've ever met in my fucking life, my entire life. Out of everybody, they would easily, if I had to make top 10 people, coolest people I've ever met in my entire life, they're definitely in there. There's a few others that enter that list of category two, but it's not many. But there are two of them. So them, but the show was awesome as fuck, man. Cole was spitting fire behind the drum set. They brought out the fucking chainsaw. Mike Beams brought out the chainsaw. Bud Burke was fucking puking on stage. We've got photos of all this shit too. So it was like they put on a hell of a show. All went all fucking out. You get these Canoe ass motherfuckers. They're getting paid for the night. They don't even. It's like the biggest half ass fucking effort. So it was like full blown, like one of the best shows I've seen at the time. One of the best shows I've ever seen to date. Just the coolness that they were doing on stage, and then the coolness of hanging out with them. So greatest show experience. I mean, there's like I said, there's a bunch. I can give a bunch of other stories, like you know, of other shows I've been to, but that's the first one that comes to my mind. And the funny fucking part is one that also comes to my mind, which I told a bit talking about the raw sewage video when I talked about him. It's just funny because ex Exhumed and all Oakland guys. One of the other most memorable, if I was to make top five, was then seeing Impale for the first time. It was like a very similar experience. So that's just I don't know if that's just ironic or just those guys had the goddamn formula down. I think they had the fucking formula down too, and they're all just very fucking cool guys too. So that's why when I hear people talking shit about those bands, like I don't like Exhumed or the guys, and they're talking shit about Ross or just stale death metal, whatever they say, I just like what, and then they're listening to 200 Stab Wounds. I'm just like, just fucking get lost in that goddamn canoe down river, motherfucker. Exact next question, yeah, let's one more. Order question, like I said, from Cody King. God damn it. J-Dog, we're always talking posers on the channel. Ever ran into any real metalheads that were in the know in your day-to-day life outside of work shows? Question mark. That's a good question. A few months back, I ran into a guy at a gas station wearing a Grotesque in the Embrace of Evil shirt. You definitely don't see that often. I can honestly say I've never seen a Grotesque in the Embrace of Evil. Fucking huge fan of that goddamn release as well. I've definitely never seen it in the out and out normal world. I don't even know if I've even seen it at a show. I mean, maybe at a show, but I don't even know if I've seen it at a show. But I've definitely never seen that ever in my entire fucking life going to Walmart or the gas station. So that's definitely one you don't fucking generally see. Definitely caught me by surprise, as it would me, and made me do a double take. We shot the shit for a few, but it was awesome to randomly meet someone who didn't think that Hootie was the heaviest band ever. I don't know. Is there anybody that actually thinks Hootie's the heaviest band ever? There's people that obviously think Hootie's enjoyable source of music are good, and that to me alone, that's more to me saying Hootie and the Blowfish. I like Hootie and the Blowfish. Any human being saying those words, that to me is more shocking and appalling than what's heavier the Pantera. I can understand the Pantera line over the Hootie. Dude, Hootie and the Blowhole, that is the most unlistenable ass fucking shit on the face of this goddamn fucking planet. That and goddamn Creed. That's got to be the most unlistenable shit ever. Out and about. Yeah, here and there I have. I guess kind of a first thing that's popping in my mind was, and I forget his name, but it's right down the street from our warehouse where I'm at now. Like literally right down the street, like a 60 to 70-second drive. Get to the first light, there's a drug mart, and next to it there's a coffee kind of like bakery shop. And me and Lindsay were in there one time getting a coffee, and the guy that owns the place. I kind of knew a tiny bit of backstory about it because Tommy Redefining Darkness, his buddy worked there, and they did bands together. I think Tommy was doing drums, and his buddy told me his name. I totally forget, but he known him for years. And his buddy played guitar, bass, or whatever. I don't think vocals, but it was either guitar or bass. And they did bands together, and they toured, like they've gone to Europe and shit like that together, right? Played in metal bands. I think they both helped out Aborted, or they toured with Aborted, something like that. I think that's how Tommy, um, hung out with Sven and got to know Sven, shit like that. Anyways, he told me that he worked in the area or whatever, and I just this is like months prior, thought nothing of it. So kind of the backstory. And I knew there was like one guy working there, and he was the helper then. So there, the older guy, I already knew when I saw him, the older grumpier guy. Oh, this is the owner or whatever. But I kind of forgot that, or didn't even know. Maybe I kind of knew that this was the place Tommy was talking about. That his buddy worked there, right? And he's just in an apron or whatever. It's like I said, the bakery place. Two guys there, and I'm just, putting fucking some goddamn maybe some Splenda in my goddamn coffee, right? Stirring it up. And just from, I was wearing a Cannibal Corpse, I think Butchered at Birth shirt. And you got behind the back, but to you, but my back was facing him. Oh, yeah, I like those guys or something. And automatic, even Lindsay said, I could just see the look on your face when he said, oh, God, fuck me. Here we go. He's got a Cannibal shirt on. I was like, dude, I'm not impressed that you heard a fucking Cannibal Corpse. So I turn around and she's like, oh, yeah. Just kind of that type of shit. Like, here the fuck we go. I already know where this is going. And then he started actually busting out other shit too, like Aborted and mentioning bands. Like, oh shit, okay, he actually knows some fucking bands. And then it got brought up touring and stuff like that. And then Tommy got mentioned. I was like, oh, okay. Oh yeah, I heard about you. Tommy told me, yeah, we've been friends for years. Used to tour and shit like that. So he was in the know, and I was not expecting that at all. I think he wasn't. He was dressed for work. So that scenario, but yeah, initially when once he came, oh fuck me, Dad. Here the fuck we go. Because that's usually what it is when someone confronts you, brings it up on their own. It's always because you're wearing a bigger metal band shirt, whether it be DSI. I got it for a DSI hoodie once too. The goddamn Panini's fucking bar. Used to listen to those guys, that type of shit. But that's not an in the know guy. This guy actually was in the know, but saying something because I'm wearing a Cannibal Corpse shirt, that doesn't tell me you're in the know. I'm getting all fucked. Now, if he called out Putrefaction Painful Death demo, oh, fuck yeah, man. I love that 89 demo. If that was the comment, I'd automatically be like, oh, this motherfucker's in the know. We don't even need to talk anymore. He's in the fucking know. We got something to talk about. That's never happened. It's always, but he was the first one that's coming to my mind that was in the know when I'm thinking, oh shit, he's not going to be in the fucking know. But turned out he was. So every now and again, you're fucking wrong, right? So I would say that goddamn story. So yeah, but that doesn't happen often. Anyways, next question video line is the video. How many 87-year-olds do you know that listen to Cannibal Corpse, DSI, Morbid Angel? Me personally, fucking zilch. See how many of you guys fucking know. All the way first question marks. 40-year-old virgin in a flat brimmed hat seems to fucking question quite often these days. Question marks. J-Dog question. What style or micro genre metal would you categorize macabre? And what other bands would you consider in the same niche? That's the greatness about macabre. They're in a league of their own. And fuck, new bands coming out today can't even fucking do it. They can't even be in a league of their own. And macabre started what? Technically, they say 85. First demo was 86, 87, because Grim Reality, I believe, the mini LP was 87. Pretty sure. So, been around a long ass motherfucking time. Technically, if been around since 85, they've been around as long as the DAWG's been alive. And they're still in a league of their own to where they don't sound like anyone else, and they are kind of their own subgenre of metal. Hence, they even gave themselves their own goddamn name, murder metal. Who else is fucking murder metal? You tell me. I've never heard anyone. Now, I'm not saying with all the millions of bands out there, because I've never heard everybody. Is there someone out there that's hanging out with Macabre? They're the murder metal. They sound like them. If they do, send me a link, brah, because I've never fucking heard it. So yeah, just unique goddamn greatness. I mean, you put on like Dahmer or something, you're like, it's not really death metal. It's not really thrash metal. It's definitely not just straight up old school heavy metal. It's definitely not black metal. It's not grindcore, but it's definitely metal. You're like, I don't fucking know. That's what made it great. You know what I mean? So in a league of their own, goddammit, not too many were able to pull it off. Godstomper, 87-year-olds listening to death metal now? Question mark. None. Even back in the 90s, none. Yeah, that's the whole fucking point. Mike Violet responds to him, you never know, brah, brah. There is that. To say none in the entire world, there probably is somebody. But it's the thing is, it's fucking hilarious how much of a statement that is. If you were to take the entire world, everybody, I don't know, is it even 10? Maybe. Maybe 10. If I had to make a guess, it's probably less than 10. 10 87-year-olds that legit, not this, I heard Hammer Smash Face and I like this shit either. No, actually buy records. He owns Zombie Apocalypse on LP. That type of shit. How many of those exist? I'd say less than 10 in the entire fucking world. That would be my honest guess. Life Eternal. Question marks. What's your opinion on drum machines slash triggers? I mean, they're not ideal, but if it sounds good enough and pulled off, then I'm okay with it. Isn't Infest Dead one of my favorites? Of course, goddamn it. Isn't that a drum machine? I was told that it is. For years, I didn't even know until I was told it is a drum machine. I was like, oh, sounds like a real drummer to me. So I got no problem with it. Mortician, that's kind of their sound. So you just kind of like, it is what it is. That's the Tish, goddamn it. Again, nobody sounds like them. And I'm not talking about these rip-off bands that came out in the last 5 fucking years. I'm talking about prior. When Mortician was active and shit, nobody sounded like them. I don't want to hear any shit. Unless you know of some obscure band that I never fucking heard of and never mentioned on this channel, again, send me a goddamn fucking link. But outside that, they don't sound like anybody. Not that I'm aware of. Again, don't come in here saying something stupid as fuck like Massacre does. Yeah, they started, what, 2 years ago? Not talking about that. And then Triggers. I mean, I like tons of stuff with Triggers, but try not to make them sound like complete fucking total dog shit, because some bands do. Especially a lot of those. That was a whole problem with a lot of those unique leader bands in like the early 2000s. Is it was technical. It was getting like way too technical, like math metal. It was overproduced, like highly produced to the point where it was like it had a stale sound. I mean, because I don't want to say overproduced, but people are like, whoa, you like everything by Vader? That's overproduced. It is, but Vader still has, maybe because there's songs and their hooks, it still has punch to it. A lot of the unique leader stuff, from what I remember, is just like this just sounds stale and boring. Because maybe because it was just nothing original death metal, so it's highly triggered drums, stale sound that just all blurred together, sounded the same. It was always kind of like the Adobe Photoshop type fucking covers. So like, this just looks like something that's being trying to be sold at Best Buy. It's like, I don't know, dude. I want to see some fucking cool covers. Like again, look at the Zombie Apocalypse cover. Look at Chainsaw Dismember cover. Look at Tomb and Mutilated. I was like, that's what represents death metal. Cool, awesome, fucking badass goddamn covers. You know what I mean? I was like, what's this dumb shit? That was kind of my take on it. But if it's triggered and it sounds like it's pulled off well, I mean, you guys know me. I mean, like Christian, for example, the only albums that I think the triggers sound like shit is Ageless Venomous, and actually the triggers on Black Force Domain, those actually sound kind of like crap too as a whole. But I mean, the overall sound of it, the rawness, it works. But like take like Apocalyptic Revelations or Conqueror's Armageddon, I don't think the triggers on that sound like shit at all. I think they sound totally fine, so they don't bother me the slightest. Altars of Madness, I don't think the fucking triggers on that sound like shit. Don't bother me the least bit. So depends. Octavian, J-Dog, you ever check out Solstice? It's some really good, brutal slash cutthroat thrash from Miami. Yeah, I just like the first album with Rob Barrett. To me, when I thought Solstice, I'm like, oh, it's Rob Barrett's thrash band where he's singing for. I like that. And it wasn't the second album up. He wasn't singing on it, or maybe he wasn't on it, but I'm pretty sure not, at least not singing on it. I'm just like, it's okay. I'm like, no Rob, no fucking go. God damn it. That was my take on the Solstice. But yeah, the first album, yes, I do like. Mike Violet, question marks. Jada, question. In this hypothetical scenario, you're elderly and can no longer take care of yourself and getting shipped off to the old folks' home. For the fucking record, I hope I die before that fucking happens. Like, cause I'd rather be dead than it gets to that fucking point. But no, my luck, it'll get to that fucking point. Due to limited space in your new living arrangements, you can only bring 5 records with you. What are those records going to be? Also, your roommate is going to unfortunately be the Soulfly guy. Oh, fuck me dead. Just fucking goddamn put the lethal injection in me now then, goddamn it. Before I even get there, just on the ride there, just put it right the fuck in me. 5 records, what would I take with me, goddamn it? Routes up ahead. Serpents of the Light, goddamn it. Of course, that's motherfucking in there. Keep count. Serpents of the Light, goddamn it. Appalled and Horrified. Carcass Reputrefaction. Cannibal Corpse, Tomb of the Mutilated. Merciful Fate in the Beginning. I would take those 5 records. That's what I'd probably be grabbing. At least that's what's popping in my head first, goddamn it. Come switch, you know what I'm gonna do. Put the guy box in the morning. Later, goddamn it.